All right, I will tell you guys a little bit about how I got introduced to hypnosis and past life regression. Because really being a very big skeptic back then, 14 years ago, I got this gift certificate to past life regression. Wow. And I thought, come on, really? And promised myself to be open-minded, and I went. And the therapist asked me, well, is there a couple of issues you want to work with or investigate? And I thought, okay, I hate Germans. I hate religion. I'm not really good with economics. And that could be the best issues back then. And I thought, okay, let's go for it. And suddenly I went back to a past life, being a Jew, during World War II. My parents' shop got burned down to the ground. I actually escaped and lived between a couple of buildings that were hidden, and suddenly got exposed by a couple of soldiers in an early morning and got killed right there in a basement. And everything was so true and so real to me, and I thought, wow, I couldn't make this up. So I had my conscious mind going on meanwhile. I had maybe my spirit mind or my soul mind going on another level, and got a little bit confused because what am I to do with all of this information? I got back home and I still kind of hated Germans, still kind of hated religion, and I thought, well, maybe Berlin is not that far away. Let's go for a drive. And I went all the way down there and got a list of information that I got through the past life session. And I promised myself, okay, if just one of these actually fits with what I can actually see in Berlin, I might believe it. And I went down there, and everything was true. I drew down how the road looked like, how tall the buildings were, where there was a statue, an airfield, even a harbor. And I got taught in school, Berlin is the middle of Germany. A harbor, really? There was a harbor, 1,500 meters away from where I actually lived back then. My parents' shop back then was still kind of a grocery store today, but closed down, with everything exactly how I explained it before then. And I went back home, got scared, shitless, sorry, and for 6 months didn't know what to do because all of the old feelings came up, and I thought, well, what am I to do with this information? Because I thought something was to be released or could let go of all the information, but it didn't. And then I promised myself once again, this is my quest. I need to go investigate this. So who's the best ones in the world? I want to go learn from those people. And I looked up people like Richard Sothvin, Dick Sothvin, Dr. Michael Newton, and a lot of guys like these quality names. And I learned from them and worked with their methods for a couple of years and found out still something missing. And I kind of, not invented, but stumbled upon a couple of methods that I call Soul Key today, where we have a kind of in-between life place that everybody can go and get full access to all the past lives, even the soul knowledge, without having any doors being shut right in the face, with somebody helping us. If that door is closed, you need to go back there, and there's the information because you need that information, otherwise you wouldn't understand what's on the other side of that door, and narrowing everything down to maybe a 2.5 hour instead of maybe the Newton method. If anyone knows that, it's 2 times 4 hours maybe. You need to go relive the latest past life to be able to go upstairs, so to say, and get access, but sometimes you don't get access. So as I told you before, I'm kind of a nerd. So my beginning in hypnosis was actually the spiritual hypnosis, and then later on I got all the instructors training, basic hypnosis, advanced hypnosis, and whatever lies beyond that. And that's why I'm here. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that was interesting because it was like a spiritual joke that I said "Danke" to you.
Well,
out of the blue.
Connection.
Wow, talking about German energy still following you around.
But it's solved today, actually.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow, that is. Yes.
I want to direct this to Martin, but the rest of you comment after I directly hear from him.
Okay.
I'm going to have
The answer is 14. Oh, just kidding.
I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm probably coming up on, maybe, I don't know, 800-900 sessions now in my career so far. And I haven't been formally trained in past life, but I learned enough to know that this can happen. And I got some basic, this can happen, be aware, be ready. And, what I have in mind when it does happen is do your same reframe, your same transformational techniques. I've never been afraid of it. I've been totally convinced. I'm here because I think there's something to this. I've had no resistance to this. And and when I do a lot of regression, and I'm keenly aware to keep it open, to let them go wherever they need to. I'm a big believer in what Mary said. The client is right, wherever they go is perfect, and I'm always, and I'm telling you, it's only happened once where they go into a past life, and that was another hypnotherapist. And on top of that, I've done a bunch of regression for my own personal issues with other hypnotherapists, and I never go back there.
Okay.
What the heck is going on? And go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I guess sometimes it happens spontaneously, and if it does that, and you don't feel like you have, the big package of training, you can always use past life regression just as you use just age regression. Go back, do the phobic or trauma release, and then go back again. But I would actually like to add another dimension, because a lot of people are talking about going back, find the source to all the challenges and get them resolved or released and then move on. I would actually add another dimension, because I believe, our spirit pretty smart, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And human being, not that smart, actually. And when we choose our lives and we go back down to the earth and live our lives, our spirit actually chose a couple of challenges. And why did it do so? Mm-hmm. Well, because at some point during our lives, we definitely need another education of some kind, maybe even just a door opener. And they would know at some time we would need to look up someone like you guys or us up here and get that thing resolved, but suddenly there's another door in front of us. And how do we open that door? So I want to add that dimension. So to me, it's not only finding the cause, it's actually finding the key in that source, and then have another explanation. That's what to do with your life right now. So with proper training, and it's actually not that demanding, you can add that another dimension. So people would say it's not just releasing, but it's life changing. There's a big difference.